Hi, so Abby has volunteered to sign up for our grooming video.
So here we have all of the brushes that you're going to find in your brush box. Every brush box has the horse's name on it. And in each one, you're going to find the hoof pick. You're going to find a mane and tail brush. This is the soft brush. This is the hard brush, the curry, and during shedding season, this is a shedding blade.
Being springtime and severe shedding season, we are actually going to start out with using a shedding blade. The one thing you want to do is not use this blade on her mane, on her forelock, around her eye or nose, and actually not even on her face. And you want to be careful for any other sensitive areas, mainly underneath her belly here and on the insides of her legs. So you're going to go ahead, pull her mane aside, and in short little swipes, start de-shedding Abby. And you're going to go over her whole entire body. And again, pull her mane aside.
That's a lot of hair.
That is a lot of hair. And lots of times we would prefer to do this outside, let the hair just blow around. But for the video purpose today, we do have to do it inside.
Wow, would you guys look at all that hair? We could make another animal. What kind of animals would you guys make out of all of this hair?
So the next brush that you want to use after you use your shedding blade, and when usually grooming a horse, this is usually the first brush that you use. This is called a curry comb. And what you want to do is take it, start at the top of her neck. Again, you don't want to go near her eyes, around the soft, delicate areas near her nose. You can take a little bit and do on the front of her forehead, but I like to start right here, and you start in little circles and work your way back. What the curry comb does, it helps to bring up any dirt that's on the skin, and it brings out any loose hair. And another thing that I love to do always, and I teach all of my students this, put a hand on your horse, get that connection. And usually horses really enjoy this currying. And keep going in circular motions, working your way down her body. Over her shoulder, over her withers. This is the shoulder. This is her withers. Over here is her elbow. And on her back. And especially when getting ready to groom to ride, you always want to make sure that you get the girth line and under their belly. And I'm just going to keep on going here. You can also use the curry because it is very flexible, and this one is pretty soft. You wouldn't want a real stiff curry to do their legs, but make sure that you get their legs as well. And around their knees. With Abby being part Belgian and part Hefflinger, she has what's called feathers here over her fetlock. Collects a lot of dirt. I actually like to use a mane and tail comb on this. You wouldn't necessarily, she thinks I was going to pick her foot up. I wouldn't necessarily use this curry on it, but it's okay to use on the front of her foot. Next brush is going to be a stiff brush. Some people call it a dandy brush. We call it a stiff brush here. And again, start up at her neck, and you're going to make nice little short little swipes like this. What the stiff brush does, it gets up all that dirt that you brought to the surface with the curry. And you don't want to go like this, because that really doesn't do anything. It just, you're missing all this other dirt and hair that you brought up with the curry. And again, nice to keep a hand on her. And one thing I do want to make a note of when you are brushing your horse, and as you get to know your horse, look for cuts this time of year, especially tick bites. If you notice any unusual swelling, blemishes, any injuries, this would be the time that you would want to check over your horse as well. Another thing that you can use a stiff brush for, I'm going to skip over the rest of her here, and go over that way. You could actually use a stiff brush for their tail as well. And when cleaning a tail, you do not want to stand like this. It is not safe. Abby cannot see me here. You want to stand off to the side and close to your horse. Bring your arm under her tail and bring her tail over to you. And it's always good to start at the bottom and work your way up. We do have a mane and tail brush for this purpose, but we can also use a stiff brush as well. Brush that we're going to use is the soft brush or a finishing brush. And again, start up here and start to work your way back. Same, using the same swift strokes that you used with a stiff brush. This brush is also very, very good to use for your horse's face. You can move Abby's forelock aside. Good girl. She's like, I was taking a nap. And brush away all the hair on her face. And just be careful not to go too close to her eye. This brush is also very good to use on the horse's lower legs here. Anywhere where there is soft skin, it's good to use this brush. You ready? So to clean a horse's hoof, you want to make sure that you have your hoof pick. We like to use the picks that have the brush on the other end as well. You're going to just stand right next to your horse's leg, facing backwards, and you're going to rub your hand down their leg, and you can kind of lean into them a little bit, lift their hoof up. Now, because a lot of our horses are older, we like to keep them as comfortable as possible, holding Abby's foot at a comfortable level. You want to take your pick and go into the clefts here and scrape out, and her foot looks pretty good. And use the brush to brush out any other remaining debris. Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. So after you've brushed this all out, now Abby has had a little bit of thrush due to the damp winter that we had. We have been and we are going to treat this. We put in a thrush treatment in here with cotton balls. We wrap it with gauze and vet wrap, put a boot on, and let it soak in to help treat it. And when you put your horse's foot down, make sure your feet are out of the way and just gently let her put her foot down. To do the back foot, you're going to keep your hand on her, work your way to the back. Most horses are pretty trained. They know that you're going to be picking up their foot. You don't need the excess hair. Again, being an older horse, I'm going to let her relax into my hand, and I'm going to stand close. I'm going to pull all this dirt out here and manure. I take the side of my pick, and I'm not going to take my pick and dig in here. I'm going to actually take the brush and brush that out. And this right here is called the horse's frog. This is the sole of their foot. Their heel starts here. This is the outer wall. and right in here is the inner wall. And I'm gonna let Abby put her foot down. This is our mane and tail brush. We have one of these for each and every one of our horses. And again, you want to, when you brush the mane or tail, and this is the horse's mane, you want to start at the bottom and work your way up. It's just like for those of you who have really long hair, if someone were to start brushing way up here and try and pull it through, you don't want it to get snagged and pull the hair out. So start at the bottom like this and work your way up. I like to put my hand underneath it just to help to lift the mane up and out. And look how pretty Abby's mane is. She used to have it cut completely short, and because she was a vaulting horse, she is just strictly a therapeutic horse now, so we did let her mane grow nice and long. So to do her tail, again, you want to stand off to the side right here, reach underneath, and go ahead and grab the horse's tail and start brushing down from the bottom and work your way up. And you can take it in little pieces. If you see hay like that, go ahead and pull it out. It's raining. And then eventually work your way up to the top.